In a world where coaching is sacred, one man dares to sell you bronze tier advice at diamond tier price.
Edges. So this one, because it has a vertical, if you look, it's really vertical. So this is like without any help. It goes up and then it does a little mix and then it goes up. So what you want to do is you kind of want to go forward and back.
Yep, Coach Frosty's back. When I first started playing Apex Legends, I was desperate to get better. And like a lot of new players, I sought out a coach. That's when I discovered Frosty. He looked legit, he claimed to be a pro player, and that it was all about helping the community. But here's the thing, he wasn't a pro player, not even close. He was platinum at best. And another creator, Otter, actually called him out for this. Otter dropped a great expose, linked below, and he went deep into how Frosty faked being a pro. And when the receipts came out, Frosty disappeared for a while. Now he's back. And while he's scrubbed pro player from his branding, the behavior is the same, and we're not letting it slide. So now, Frosty doesn't say he's a pro. Cool, growth, right? No, he's actually just pivoted the language. Now it's all about how you don't have to be a pro to be a good coach. Which is actually true. Some of the best coaches in sports history weren't top athletes. I've learned from players below my own rank because their knowledge was sound. Frosty's isn't. He claims he's just doing this to give back and that all the money goes to charity or stream. Okay, then name the charity. Show the receipts. How much are you donating monthly? How much Twitch revenue is paying you directly versus being reinvested? Where's the transparency?
How much is a coaching session? They're free, dude. Coaching is free. There's no scam here. I can't scam you because I ain't taking anything from you. Homie, I'm helping people. You don't understand. This is charity for me. This is me giving back to the community. As an OG 31-year-old gamer, homie, I've been gaming forever. So this is my way to just give back. This is literally me just helping y'all out. As a military vet, as an OG gamer, as a fucking grandpa out here, I'm just giving back for free. That's why it's all free. That's why there's no scam. I'm not trying to swindle anything from you, except maybe a like and a follow. I appreciate a like and a follow, but there's no swindle here. There's no scammeroonie because you're not giving me anything. You could sign up as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't give a fuck. There's no money. The paid coaching sessions all go back or to charity. So, like, it goes into the stream or back into charity. It doesn't even hit my pocket. I am a blue-collar worker. I work 50 hours a week making... I don't want to get into the details, but I make a decent living, let's just say. I pay for a lot of nice stuff. Like, I may not be Leo Skepti, but I like, some jewelry and shit. Like, look at bro, I'm good. That's why it's free. I'm giving back. That's all this is.
This isn't just bad Apex advice. This is manipulative. Frosty repeatedly says his coaching is free, but this is clearly a coaching business. And worse, he treats his community like garbage. You'll find clips of him snapping at viewers, mocking people, asking questions, or belittling those who disagree. Some of his most loyal viewers, frankly, it feels like Stockholm Syndrome. They're defending a guy who doesn't respect them. It's not a community, it's a cult of personality. And if you're watching this and you're a fan of his, you deserve better than that. All right, let's talk about what he's actually teaching, because this is the meat and potatoes of it.
What I was showing you guys, left to right, R9, harder to control, right? When you want to push better with the R9, forward and back. The recoil trick is not to go side to side. It's actually, you want to be aggressive with it. You want to push forward or push back.
So, simple tests. So I will ADS my gun. I will hold my mouse up off the table. I will walk forward and pull the trigger. As you can see, there's quite a bit of vertical recoil. Let's do it without walking forward. This is accomplishing nothing. This isn't real. This is misinformation. Walking forward does not cancel vertical recoil. The real mechanic here is strafing to achieve recoil smoothing. Because what happens is if you're moving your cursor over a certain speed, recoil essentially turns off. So if I move my mouse very quickly, there is no recoil. This is referred to as recoil smoothing. Another real technique for recoil control is to just learn the patterns. Another mechanic that takes advantage of recoil smoothing would be jitter aiming. What you're essentially doing is vibrating your cursor fast enough that it's over that threshold of speed consistently the entire time you're jiggling your hand, and it will essentially also remove recoil. Walking forward and backwards with the car or R9, the recoil is not going to be canceled. However, you can apply the same techniques, recoil smoothing or just controlling the recoil pattern. Both of these are very effective, but strafing forward is just a good way to get beamed. Real recoil control comes from cursor control. Whether it's learning the pattern or achieving recoil smoothing, both of those are effective techniques, but strafing forwards and backwards to negate vertical recoil is not real.
So your mouse pointer speed, that is going to control everything on your computer.
Okay.
Your
Not just the game?
not just the game, but everything.
Okay.
In the game, you have your mouse settings. You see how it says like 1.0 and stuff?
Yeah.
That is the next level up. If you change your mouse pointer speed, your in-game setting of 1.0 is going to be changed with it. If you make your mouse pointer speed faster, the in-game speed is faster.
Okay, so as someone who really cares about settings and the software behind gaming, I needed to address this one. This is just not true. So mouse pointer speed does not affect in-game sensitivity at all. Apex uses raw mouse input, meaning it's using your DPI. Here, you can see I'm playing on 3200 DPI. So DPI stands for dots per inch. If I move my mouse about 1 inch, the computer is receiving a value of 3200. 3200 counts from my mouse. If I move it to 400, it's going to be receiving 400. The computer, Apex, it doesn't know if you moved your mouse 1 inch or not. It only knows the value of DPI that it's receiving. Apex uses this raw data from your mouse. It does not know what your Windows pointer speed is unless you're in the menus. This will affect your sensitivity. And a good way to think about it is think of this as just a multiplier of the raw mouse input. A good way to think about sensitivity is more in centimeters per 360. I play on a roughly 40 centimeters per 360. So for one full resolution, I'm moving my hand 40 centimeters. If I were to change my sensitivity or my DPI, either of those in game would affect my centimeters per 360. Well, I could achieve the exact same centimeters per 360 of about 40 by simply going into my DPI, toggling the DPI to 1600, and again, my cursor now feels slower, and my in-game also is slower. I'm now about at 80 centimeters per 360, but I can get back to 40 centimeters per 360 by going to my settings, coming up here, typing in 0.6, and then now I am back at 40 centimeters per 360. If I wanted to make my sensitivity much, much faster, I could adjust my DPI. So I will From this back up, I will put my sensitivity at 4800. So now, every time I move my mouse 1 inch, the game is receiving a unit, or the computer is receiving a unit of 4200. Again, it doesn't know if I moved an inch or not. It doesn't know that value. It doesn't know the distance I'm actually moving my mouse. It just knows the DPI that it is receiving, the value that it's receiving. It's receiving 4800 dots per every time I move my mouse 1 inch, or 4800 inputs every time I move my mouse 1 inch. What I'm going to do now is I will change my Windows pointer speed. So open up my advanced mouse properties or mouse settings. I'll move my pointer speed. I have it set to 3. Again, I will link resources to help understand pointer speed a little better, because there are some values that are better than others as far as how smooth your mouse feels in menus, or how smooth your cursor feels in menus, even in Apex. So I'll move it all the way up to really fast. So DPI is at 3200. In-game sensitivity is still 0.3. And as you can see, my Windows cursor is very fast. The speed did affect the menu cursor speed. So if I open up my inventory, my cursor is very fast now. It's on the fastest setting. But my in-game sensitivity is exactly the same. I am at 40 centimeters per 360. That has not changed. So again, this is just false information. This is not true whatsoever. So that was just a small example of some of his advice. If you're following this advice, you're probably getting worse at Apex. If this was just a guy giving bad advice, so what? But people are paying him. New players trust him, and they're being misled. Imagine you're a rookie and you spend $20 on a coaching session thinking it'll help, and instead you walk away with misinformation, a bruised ego, and no improvement. This is not helping the community. This is exploiting it. So here's what I recommend instead. If you're actually serious about getting better at Apex, there are plenty of creators and resources out there for free or paid, but that are actually worth your time. So we have Sweatband TV, a great resource, videos covering every sort of topic, controller and M&K. There's also creators and coaches like District. District puts out a lot of free coaching and advice, as well as offering paid coaching sessions. You also have creators like Daz, who share a lot of great information and resources for improving. You have creators like Matty OW. In my opinion, Matty is second to none when it comes to understanding the fundamentals of M&K aim. He's one of the best aimers in the world. If you're a mouse and keyboard player, I highly recommend checking out Matty OW and his free resources and tutorials. There are free resources like Aimer7's Strafe Aiming Guide and Aimer7's Guide on Positioning and FPS. Another great resource I'd recommend is Voltaic. It is one of the best aim training communities, and they have a ton of some of the best free resources for improving your aim, and I could not recommend it enough. Coach Frosty, if you're watching this, this isn't a personal attack. This is about accountability. You don't have to be the best player to coach, but you do need to stop lying, stop manipulating, and start actually helping people. Your coaching does not make people better. It makes them confused. And to everyone else, you deserve better. You deserve coaches who are honest, skilled, and who respect you.